Welcome to the Super Bowl 60 post show. It's your boy ABE from DET.
I am that ball bro from the Boogie Down.
It's your boy, Coach DTM, man. What's good?
And you already know it's your boy Rose from that Rose Show.
Y'all know what happened. Ain't no even, 29-13. Patriots did absolutely nothing. Drake May was mauled the entire game. This probably, to me, in my opinion, I'm gonna speak first. It was the most boring Super Bowl I probably ever watched. Hell of a defensive game, but it is what it is. Seattle Seahawks and Sam Darnold are the Super Bowl champions of the world. Ball bro, how you feel about Seattle getting the win here against New England?
It kind of went the way I felt it was going to go, like, for Seattle defensively. Like I said, I think they had the experience up front with guys like Leonard Williams and DeMarcus Lawrence. They were going to make things very difficult for Drake May. I told you, they were going to have a plan to keep him contained, keep the big plays from happening. And I think, what did they set the record for sacks in the NFL? Almost like 6-7 sacks. I think they got on Drake May, with a couple of forced fumbles as well. One return for a touchdown. Like, I just had a feeling like Williams or Lawrence was going to be a big and that whole defensive front, pretty much. It was a whole team effort. The secondary was great. I mean, from Witherspoon to Job, to Julian Love, former Giant, with an interception in the Super Bowl. Man, it's always the former Giants that we show up every year to prove a point. Like why not? But I mean, listen, like, defensively, they did their thing. And Sam Darnold, you know what I mean? It was a defensive struggle for him, but you know what? He stepped it up in the second half, got himself a touchdown, and Kenneth Walker III, I mean, the Super Bowl MVP, first time a running back did that since Terrell Davis with the Broncos. I mean, so shout out to him. And yeah, man, well deserved. It was a great defensive plan all around, and I think the much better team definitely won last night.
29-13. Coach DTM, how you feel about the Super Bowl finale? Seattle taking the win.
I called it. You know what I'm saying? Even the score was kind of close to what I said. I said 24-20, but this game was definitely, I agree with you, Abe, it was definitely boring. But it was boring within reason, so we knew it was going to be similar to this because of the defense that Seattle has. The biggest thing for me, the biggest takeaway I got from this was the whole Sam Darnold story. How they like to say, one man's trash is another man's Super Bowl champion. You know what I'm saying? So he stepped it up and did his thing. He finished the story like he was supposed to. So I did love that part right there. I honestly feel like it would have set it off even more had he got the MVP.
Definitely. Rose, was this a boring Super Bowl or a great defensive game?
I think it was just a great defensive masterclass by Seattle. Boring Super Bowl is Super Bowl 53, first off, 13-3.
Yeah.
With the Patriots and Rams. So it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard for somebody to go ahead and do something like this. I think this one, it was exciting because it just looked like Seattle just had a game plan. They just came out there to do it. Like, it was one point, it was one play where Drake May threw the ball and went through Hunter Henry's hands, and the defender for the Seahawks, he had a chance. He could have caught the interception right in, but it looked like he said, "Nah, fuck that ball. I want you." and that just looked like what they was on. They was just sacking Drake May. They was Ramondre or Henderson couldn't get started. It didn't matter who it was. They didn't get nothing offensively going probably to the end of the third quarter, fourth quarter. That's it. And like the offense, Sam Darnold, just the ultimate game manager. You don't throw no interceptions. You don't turn over the ball, you win. You know, and now he got more rings than Josh Allen. So,
oh my God, you and Josh Allen shots.
That just means what it is. But Kenneth Walker definitely played a great game yesterday.
I'm glad you brought him up. Kenneth Walker must say the third, like Coach say. The third is the MVP. A lot of people felt like the kicker, Jason Myers, with his 4 field goals, or was it 5? I think it was 4 or 5. 4, I think it was. Should have been the MVP, but come to find out, he wasn't even qualified to be on the ballot to vote. So Kenneth gets the MVP. Coach DTM, was this the right move, making Kenneth the MVP?
I'm gonna say yeah, and I'm gonna say yeah simply because although it was boring, he made you want to watch it. So he was the attraction. I believe the MVP is always gonna be somebody that's gonna bring eyes to the sport. Nobody cares about a kicker or unless you miss. You know what I'm saying? So I think that this was the only option. Now the crazy thing is, for all my better betting people out there, right? I came up with a foolproof plan prior to the game, and at the last second, I pulled out. I said, "I'm not doing it." Pause. Right? I'm not going to put it in. I was going to bet on Drake May on one card, and I was going to bet Sam Darnold on the other card, which is an automatic win because 9.5 times out of 10 is always the QB that get it. But something told me it was going to be some shenanigans. And I was like, I don't like how this feels before I even put this in. This was before the game even started. And lo and behold, I'm glad I didn't because I'd have lost 200.
You would have definitely lost that 200 for sure, brother. Definitely. Bro, was Kenneth the right pick for MVP?
For the way that the game ended, yeah, I don't mind him. I mean, listen, he had what, $135 rushing, 5 yards per pop. I mean, if it wasn't for that final holding call on that one that he broke for like what, a 60-yard run walking to the end zone. I mean, that you could have made an argument that would have been one of the best running back performances in Super Bowl history, but unfortunately got called back because of a holding penalty. I hear the argument for Myers for MVP. Yeah, he was 5 for 5 field goals, but when you look at it again, like his longest was 41. They were all chip shots. Right there. It wasn't like he was like hitting like 50 or 60 yarders, then you could have an argument. I mean, if the Patriots didn't score that second touchdown, I would have given the MVP to the defense. Because like I said, the front seven was getting pressure on Drake May all day. And the secondary, they were laying the hits out there. Like if you're crossing the middle or you're going like over the shallow crosses over the middle, they were paying the price right there. They were thinking twice. They were looking out the corner of their eye as the game went along right there. And but yeah, I don't mind Kenneth Walker. But yeah, if they didn't score that second touchdown, I would have given it to the entire defensive unit.
Definitely. Rose, Kenneth the right pick for MVP?
We talking about kicking, man. We talking about kicking, man. Like we ain't talking about the game, not the game. We talking about kicking. Like he did his job basically. Like Bro said, it wasn't like 60-yard, 50-yard, multiple field goals he was making. The Seahawks was getting down there into the red zone. They couldn't convert though, because the Patriots had good enough red zone defense to where they weren't converting all of those plays. Yeah, Kenneth Walker definitely deserved it because, like I said, they were getting to the red zone because of him. For Jason Myers to make those kicks. Yeah, man, the referees calling that holding penalty is crazy because, man, I lost money on that.
I mean, I hear you, but you look at the replay. He grabbed them basically, like he had him outside.
I don't give a damn.
I know you got. I know
that holding penalty ain't got nothing to do with. It was over with. Ain't nothing to do with it. It's over with.
The first thing I thought about was my son had a game on Saturday, and they was killing them boys. It was like 48-5, right? And the other team was like fouling and traveling, and we yelling from the stand. And the referee looked at us and said, "Man, y'all up 35 points. I'm not calling no more calls."
All right, time to go home.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought of at that point. Like, oh, okay.
Definitely. Kenneth Walker, MVP. You're talking about the good, but we got to talk about the bad. Drake May and the New England Patriots were completely mauled. Does this have a negative effect on Drake May's MVP secondary status, bro, with this Super Bowl loss?
I say no because you got to look at the bigger picture with the Patriots and their struggles against the Seahawks. I mean, the Patriots O line had no answer throughout the entire night for that Seahawks pass rush. I mean, whether it was Williams, whether it was Demarcus Lawrence, or whether it was Murphy as well, like whoever, and the corner blitzes. I mean, Witherspoon got there on a couple of corner blitzes as well. They were coming from everywhere. I told you that the Seahawks would come up with a good plan to just remember it's only his second year in the league, so he's still going through his growing pains. I mean, the fact that he got to the Super Bowl right here, I mean, a lot of things went in their favor this year for them to get that record. And, let's not forget the AFC title game, that snowstorm in Denver, helped things out as well, but we don't live in a world of ifs and maybes. It is what it is. I think it's more than Drake May. I think they got to improve that offensive line going forward to help him in his progression, but they're still in a good spot. I mean, look, we don't know what's going to happen with the Bills. I mean, they got a new coach. The Jets are the Jets. The Dolphins are the Dolphins. So they still should be in good standing in their division. And the rest of the AFC, I think, is in flux right now. So they're still in a good spot. So I'm not going to knock him too much for his performance last night.
Rose, how did you feel about Drake May? Did he lose a little bit of the thunder after the Super Bowl last night?
Nah, he's a second-year quarterback. Like I said, man, they look at their division. They played, the only playoff team they played was the Buffalo Bills. They split those games. They played the Jets and the Dolphins 4 times all together. And then you gotta look at all the other schedule. Like he didn't really face a defense. You could see in the playoffs, like he was in the playoffs, like a game like this was going to happen. Like the Houston Texans, like I said, if it wasn't for CJ Stroud, if CJ Stroud played 50%, just 50%, like just smart, he'll be able, they would have been able to move on. They couldn't get past it. The Broncos, the snowstorm happens, yeah, but like I say, if Bo Nix can walk, if Bo Nix can just walk, they're in the Super Bowl because it was just plays Jarrett Stidham could not make. The only time I think even the Chargers was getting hits on them when they played them. So like you go against the number one defense in the league, that's gonna happen, man. And that just I don't think that's a mark on him or nothing. I think that just shows them, Mike Vrabel, that they not done yet. They still got to build the offensive line. And they still got to give him more weapons because, man, you're throwing the Douglas and Booty and old Diggs and Hunter Henry and all these other people. You just need more. You just need more against a defense like this. That's all that is.
Definitely. Coach, how you feel about Drake May after him getting manhandled yesterday?
I think he's actually in dangerous territory right now. And I'm saying that because it's his second year, right? And if he has characteristics of any of the other greats, you put a lot on yourself when you come up short the way you did last night. You feel what I'm saying? So they would definitely have to work with him mentally to make sure he stay out of his own way in the future. You know what I mean? Because this can make or break somebody when they go through these type of losses, because it wasn't a close game. You know what I'm saying? You can't really pick one great thing he did. Like, he did great in this area, but he was just bad in all these. It was just a bad performance all the way around. And granted, it wasn't all on him. It was definitely that line didn't give him any time to think about, scratching his hand. He couldn't do nothing back there. So as soon as he would blink, they was blitzing. I seen them blitz on 3 or 4, maybe 5 different plays that they just couldn't see coming, stop, do nothing about, and it was kind of crazy. So they definitely got to work with him mentally throughout the offseason to make sure he stay out of his own way for next season, or it's going to be worse. It's going to be bad.
All right, look at the picture. He's not the only one getting sacked there. It was 2 or 3. It was 2 or 3. It was 2 or 3 sacks where it was 2 or 3 sacks where the defensive tackles or edges was like, "Oh no, I'm going to Drake. Come on, you come with me." Like
It's a grown man. But yo,
Grown man, like,
real quick before we go on, let's not forget Dan Marino, second year in the league. He went to the Super Bowl, never went back.
Definitely did not. Definitely did not. When we talk about Drake May, we also got to talk about Sam Darnold. What do you guys make of him being a Super Bowl champion? We'll start off with Rose. Did his stock go up or did he just manage the game?
First off, he got more rings than Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson.
Oh my God.
And he got more rings than them combined.
Yeah, he do.
I'm not gonna lie, man. Come to find out, he was the number one quarterback all along. Because when you look at him, man, everything he's been through, from going to the Jets, we know how terrible the Jets are. Then you trade him to Carolina. We know how terrible Carolina is. And then he finally went and he sat down and learned something at I think it was San Francisco. He went and learned something there. And then he went and played at the Vikings. And then the Vikings played great with the Vikings. This could have been the Vikings in the Super Bowl this year if they kept them.
Could have been.
But they said, nah, we just want to see what we got with JJ, so we'll let you go. That, it takes a special, he might not have had number one talent coming out, but he does have number one heart and he does have a number one mindset. Because the fact that he went through all that and the fact that he made a full circle and he's able to be the first one out of those players to get a Super Bowl after everything he's been through, after it looked like he was on his way out of the league at one point. Like, and him to make himself a full circle, that just shows how strong he is mentally.
Definitely. Coach, how do you feel about Sam Darnold's stock after the win?
Talk about it. I think the stock went up, man. I think it was already up, but I think it went up because just from last season alone, where he choked in them last two games of the season. Pardon me. He choked in them last two games of the season and ended up getting traded from Minnesota. Right? So
no, he was a free agent.
He didn't get traded. They let him go. They ain't sign him back.
They ain't keep him on. Which, think about it. They had they was almost, what was they, number 2 record-wise last season.
Mm-hmm.
Right up under the mighty great Detroit Lions. So to let that go with no other prospects, or you thinking JJ gonna do something, they like, no, we got something great over here. We're gonna do JJ. No. You should have kept him, and now he's making you regret every decision you thought you made at that moment. Because now you went from number 2 to what was they, number 0? They weren't even on the list. They weren't even on the list this season. So I love this, man. I love this story. I love this finish. I think his stock definitely went up. When it comes time for him to get that bread, he gonna get it. He reminded me of what Matthew Stafford did when he left. You know what I'm saying? He went over there. He got that ring that very next year. And he's been in the running or in the conversation every year since then. And I think this is going to be the same thing here with Sam Darnold.
Ball bro, you were there in New York watching him in his Jets days. How do you feel now that Sam Darnold is a Super Bowl champion?
I said it before in the leading up to the Super Bowl. I mean, this guy, what a great redemption story it was. If he was to go out there and win the Super Bowl, did he win the MVP? Nah, but it doesn't matter. He did his thing. He did enough, for them to win. And like you said, those 3 to 4 years starting off with the Jets are the Jets, man. That's where quarterback careers go to die, pretty much. And then he was traded to the Carolina Panthers, and they're not in a much better situation than the Jets were at the time. And then, he goes for a year to the 49ers. He sits behind Brock Purdy. He's in his first professional organization, how things are supposed to be ran under a coach who knows what he's doing. And then, he has that great 13-14 win season in Minnesota. Okay, he struggled the last 2 games and they had a bad loss in the playoffs. And I think this is going to be a move that's going to haunt the Vikings for a long time. Them not re-signing Sam Darnold. I mean, you know what you had with him. You gave him up for the unknown in JJ McCarthy. Well, now we know that he ain't on Darnold's level, at least not yet. He came to Seattle with the biggest chip on his shoulder, and he had to say, like, all right, watch this, Minnesota. Watch what I'm gonna do now. Number 1 seed, home field advantage. I mean, and listen, he had a great season and good enough performance in the Super Bowl. And yeah, his stock goes way up. And guess what? They're in a prime position for years to come as an entire team. Like, they're not done. I mean, they're in the best shape in their division right now. Stafford's 1 year older with the Rams. The 49ers, they got a lot of the pieces to figure out in the offseason. And the Cardinals are the Cardinals. And I mean, you know what? Like I said, it's a great redemption story for Sam Darnold. He showed great heart, great, just some iron will, like refused to lose, refused to quit in his career. He dust himself off and he tried again. Nice little music quote right there. But yeah, I love it, man. I love a great redemption arc. Kudos to Sam Darnold, man. He's a Super Bowl champion now. You can never take that away from him.
That you cannot. Now let's get into another popular topic. The Super Bowl halftime show. Bad Bunny shut it down, had all type of guests, Ricky Martin, Lady Gaga. Some people liked it, some people loved it, a lot of people seem to hate it. Me, on the other hand, I enjoyed it. I thought, even though I did not speak the language, I thought the artistry was great, the cameos was good. It was a good show to me, man. Coach DTM, how'd you feel about the halftime performance?
Yo hablo español más o menos, but yo no comprende what was going on right there. I did not like it. It was not good at all, in my opinion. I'm not going to say it wasn't good. I'm going to say it wasn't entertaining for me. You know what I mean?
Better,
From
better
my
said
life.
right there.
Yeah, I'm going to say it wasn't entertaining for me simply because it exceeded my understanding of what he were talking about and doing. So, of course, if you go back and you watch any kind of social media clips, they're gonna pick out some things like, oh, on this time he meant this, and on this, I had no idea. I couldn't follow. I didn't like it at the moment. I think it was for the wrong sport, to be honest with you. This should have been for football, not football.
Oh man, a hater's in the house, man.
Hey,
Cup of hater,
where my
a
cup
cup
at?
of
Where my cup
hater.
at? Everybody like, no, it had undertone, man. I was so nervous. I seen Trump's tweet and I was like, up, okay.
Right.
I better be careful.
But bro, put him up on some game. Talk about how great this halftime show was and your Puerto Rican people.
It was, let me tell you right now, like, this was a tough watch for me because it was kind of a trip down memory lane when you look at the artistry, when you look at the atmosphere of the stage, and all the little from the party outside the house, from getting the icy stand and whatnot, getting the drink outside the little bar, which is an actual bar, by the way. That the lady, I forget her name, but she owns a bar on Grand Street in Manhattan.
Tanitos.
Yes, exactly, a real spot here in New York City. But it was just, here's the thing, like I say this respectfully, even if you don't understand the words, like music, when it comes to music, it's a vibe, it's like you hear the music, you can hear the vibe, you hear the rhythm, you just feel it in your soul. Like I can see that easy for me growing up here in the Bronx in New York City. So I lived that everyday life, but it got to me at the end because it's like, God damn, I'm thinking of old memories of my grandmother walking down Fifth Avenue on the Puerto Rican Day Parade, like how she would have loved this show. Like I said, it was a great trip down memory lane, and representation is important, man. We've seen over the past years, whether it's the Hispanic community, like, because you see someone like Bad Bunny, if you're a kid at home, like you could start from nothing and then, be a Grammy, a multi-time Grammy winner, sweeping the Grammys, and then you could host the Super Bowl on the biggest stage in the world, and you just set the record for most viewed halftime show of all time. Guess what? The NFL is growing the sport nationally. It's the National Football League. They're trying to grow the sport worldwide. So that's why he was chosen for this, right? It's not about being the best performance. It's just saying, like, it was a celebration of culture for all of Hispanic communities, not just Puerto Rican, Dominican, Colombian, Venezuelan, and Mexican, and so on and so forth. It was a celebration of culture. I thought it was beautiful. I thought it was great. And Ricky Martin looks fucking amazing for his age. Like, it was dope seeing him. I like Gaga's bit as well. And I loved it from start to finish. Like I said, it hit me right here, man. It hit me right here.
Hey, let me ask y'all:
Rose,
do they just select who's doing it, or is there like a voting process for that?
Jay-Z's the producer of the halftime show. I think for the last couple of years it was him.
So he do it. It's a solo selection.
I think, as far as I know, I mean, can't go wrong with picking the number one streamed artist in the world on Spotify. So
you being a full-blown Negro, Rose, how'd you like the Bad Bunny halftime show?
First off, let me get on Coach ass because I know he wasn't talking about man, it just it had a lot of Russia undertones. But everybody liked last year. Say Drake.
All right.
Like that shit was corny. Like, I ain't gonna lie. What this man did, that man sat up there for a good 20-25 minutes tearing down one black man. That right. Don't make sense to me. What this man did is brought countries together. He said, "God bless America." How do you know? Bolivia, Nicaragua.
How do you know that's what he did? How do you know?
How you don't like that?
How do you know that's what he did?
How you know that's what? Because he said it.
When I go to the Chinese,
you should have just. You know what? You could have watched the Kid Rock. You could have watched Kid Rock. They like Kid Rock for people like you. Kid Rock. They had a Kid Rock show just for you.
That's what I'm on right there.
You could have watched Kid Rock.
I just like to understand what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I like to understand.
This man brought the world together. This man brought the world together.
No,
he said,
didn't.
"God bless."
Yes, he did. The NFL brought the world together. He was just the center of attention.
He brought the world together. He said, "God bless America and God bless all those other countries in Spanish and in their own languages and stuff like that." That was nice. Like, we can't like, just cause stuff ain't affecting us. It was all cool when Samuel Jackson was dressed like Uncle Sam and Serena C walking, and oh man, it's so much. It's so much. It's hitting me. Well, then once somebody else gets up there doing something for their people, like I liked it, man. I don't be knowing what. I ain't gonna sit up here and lie to you. I don't be knowing what Bad Bunny say in his songs. But I'm pretty sure 40% of his fan base don't know what he say in his songs. But I'm pretty sure it's just vibes. That's what it is. And the fact that he was doing that for his people, that just made it special.
The problem is, it's all hearsay at that point, though. You hear somebody said, "Oh, he doing that for his people." We don't know. We have no idea. We don't speak the language. We can talk about. You can specifically say, "I didn't like when Kendrick said, 'Say Drake,' because you understood exactly what he said at that moment."
It don't matter that I understood what he said. It was people like Ball Bro and shout out Meeks and all these other people that understood what he said. Like, he was putting visuals out there for us to look at and see.
I don't understand the visual climbing on the pole, dancing at the top of the pole. Was he a male stripper? What was this? I don't know what was going on.
What you gonna say, Ball Bro?
They was hanging. They had harnesses. He didn't. That showed we only care about your staff over here. If you fall, it's okay. I'm like, I don't understand. What was the Barbara? What was the number? What was the number representation that he had on the shirt?
What are you talking about?
So he had on the all white, and I believe he had 64.
I totally forgot the number, but something real quick about the jersey. Some idiots saw like the Ocasio on the back of the jersey, and they thought it was for Alexandria Ocasio Cortez, the female Republican. No, that's his last name. His last name is Ocasio. Idiots out there. But I was gonna say, like, Rose mentioned a good point about like 40% of his fans probably don't understand the lyrics. Let me tell you something. I don't know how it is like in Detroit or like in Atlanta where Rose is, but like you go to any of these clubs or like any of these lounges that let's say they play predominantly like hip hop and like rap music, there's always they always have a Spanish set in their playlist for specific like for Spanish, whether it's salsa, merengue, or reggaeton, like they don't understand. Trust me, in my time here in the city, yeah, they may not understand, like, but it's the rhythm, it's the vibe, it's just the atmosphere that music that sets for the tone. Like I said, you don't have to understand the lyrics, but you hear the beat, and you hear the rhythm, and you either got it or you don't. No matter what music or you're listening to, it's all about a feeling and a rhythm and vibe. I'm not going to condone anyone or go against anyone who doesn't like or appreciate it, because you know what? I think the point of this show was bigger than a great performance. I like the fact that it wasn't heavy on the guest appearances either. Like we were all for a month like, oh, is he going to bring like Elvis Crespo? Is he going to bring Daddy Yankee? I like the fact that it was all on the visuals. It was all about on the Hispanic representation, and it was a celebration of culture, not just from Puerto Rico to Mexico to DR and all the other Hispanic countries and properties as well. Like I said, it was unity at the end. I mean, if you want to go ahead and pick it apart, that's all on you. And guess what? A lot of things lie, but numbers don't lie. He got the record for the most viewed halftime show. And then guess what? You know what? After the halftime show, a lot of people dipped. That shows you that they came for the halftime show and said, fuck this game, this shit. We're not here for this. Bad Bunny was the real MVP of Super Bowl Sunday.
You do know what that means, right? What actually happened is every year, everybody really cares about who's doing halftime. It's a compare and contrast thing, right? So you're going to watch it. They put out a bunch of fabricated information prior to it. They said, oh, he's going to wear a dress. Oh, he's going to do this. Oh, he ain't do none of that. Everybody was watching for that reason. Everybody was watching last year to see if Kendrick was really going to say the whole Drake thing. Everybody's watching the year before that because Drake, Dr. Dre and them wasn't that Dr. Dre year, or that was 3 years ago?
3 years ago, I think.
Yeah, so Dre and them, everybody kind of wanted to see who he was going to bring out, what was going to happen. Like everybody have their reasons why they're watching. It's not because they saying, "Oh, this is the best." And I'm not even sold when these big conglomerates say, "Oh, this is the most watched." We done been to some events, bro. We done been to some WWE events, and they like sold out.
Don't compare nobody to line ass WWE.
That's what I'm saying, though. But
compare these people to TKO is crazy. Yeah, crazy.
I'm just
saying.
Get
him off the screen. Let's end it on this and saying this. I think the timing of what's going on with ICE, this was the perfect halftime show for everything that's going on in the world. It's like when things just align and they were meant to happen. All this ICE shit, immigration, this was the perfect Super Bowl for this year. Perfect. But let's end this on a funny note here. During the Super Bowl, we got a breakup with Cardi B and Stephon Diggs. Come to find out, Stephon Diggs had his other baby mama front row with his jersey on. Cardi B seen this at halftime. She said, the hell with this shit. I'm fucking out of here. Deleted him off Instagram, all social media platforms. She spent $1.2 million on a after party that neither her or Stephon Diggs showed up to. A lot of people drank and ate for free on her dollar. Crazy story. Rose, how do you feel about this breakup with Cardi B and Stephon Diggs during the damn Super Bowl?
I don't listen. It was somewhere earlier this weekend. She was making an appearance somewhere, and it was the reporter on the red carpet when she was making an appearance. They said, "Hey, do you got any encouraging words for Stephon Diggs for the Super Bowl?" And she looked at that reporter and she smiled and she said, "Good luck." And she walked off. And that right there, I knew then. I said, oh, something ain't right. Something ain't right. And then like the fact that they saying like he had his other baby mama in the front row and she had but she was in the suite and stuff. So but still, he had her in the front row with his baby. They had the babies at the same time. I pay attention to stuff like this. I know. If you on Twitter like I am, it was a bunch of people. Her fans was dogging her because he had a baby with this girl at the same time she had his baby. It's just crazy, and I think he really kind of like embarrassed her while he was getting embarrassed. So
Exactly.
I think yeah, and then on top of that, he might go to jail soon. So like he
It's all
he
downhill.
he done had him a hell of a time.
Coach Diggs lost his woman and the Super Bowl. How you feel about it?
I mean, it all boils down to this, man. Nobody wants to be with a loser. So she had to cut him short.
That is
She had to
true.
cut him short, man.
Had to cut him short. Bob, bro, any last words for this shenanigans here?
Man, what do you say? Like Rose said, things were probably already in motion before Sunday, before Sunday morning, before the sun even rose yesterday. It's like you said, from the red carpet, from Carter saying good luck, and I'm like, oh yeah, you never want to hear that. Like, and listen, Diggs, you did it to yourself. You had your baby mom front row with your jersey, and it's like, no, you can't hide that. And it's like, I don't even, and like Rosie, you might be going to jail too. So
And you might be going to
it is L. It's like Jenga bricks, man. It's like L brick after L brick after L brick after L brick. It's like that meme. I think with Floyd Mayweather when he's handing out money. Now he's handing out L's right there, and Stephon Diggs is on the other side, like just taking all them L's. Like, I mean, now hey, season's over. Like now, good luck in the justice system. I mean, we'll see what happens with that, but. I don't know what to compare it to. What do I compare that to in NFL? We seen some crazy shit in all the sports, but I'm like, bro, what? You're trying to hide it. Like you played yourself. You clowning yourself at this point, man. You brought all of your dirty laundry out on the field for everyone to look at and commentate. So like, I can't feel sorry for you. You put yourself in this position right here. And now you gotta deal with all the off-field legal shit going too. So like, good luck. I mean, whatever the hell happens from here, shit. Like, god damn.
The only person had a tougher weekend, and this is James Pierce.
Right.
Oh, I meant to ask you about that. What the fuck?
Nah, man, don't ask me about. Hey, wrap it up.
We did a special episode for that. I read that earlier. I'm like, yo, what is kid doing? Way to end your NFL career after your rookie season.
Hey, wrap this shit up, man.
We're gonna talk about that tomorrow. Stay tuned. Cut on all notifications when we'll be going live. We got a newscast coming sometime this week, and we definitely gonna tap into that. All the NBA trades. But we really appreciate you guys being with us the entire NFL season, but it does not stop here. We are going to be doing free agency in a couple of weeks when all this tampering starts. We're going to keep you up to date with everything that's going on during the offseason leading up until next year's NFL 2026 season. NBA coverage, NHL coverage continues to roll here on the Holy Shhh Sports. Any last words before we get out of here, fellas?
No.
Hey, listen, we appreciate y'all following us, checking in with us. We're glad that we can be way more entertaining than the actual Super Bowl was. And we're gonna do this each and every day for you. So keep tabs on it, man. Let's do it.
Let's do it. Till next time, Mr. Rip. Yep.
I ain't gonna lie, man. I appreciate everybody that watches us and everything like that, man. Fuck Josh Allen. Let's go.
I didn't know that was coming, man. Till next time, though, it's been real. It's your boy ABE from DET.
It's your boy Rose at the Rose Show.
And that ball bro from the Boogie Down.
And your boy, Coach DTM, man. We'll get with y'all on the next episode.
Peace.